If you clicked on this video, you're interested in color grading. But what is color grading? Color grading is the video filters and stuff like that you can use to enhance your content. And today I'm going to teach you how to do it. Color grading won't make your bad videos good, but it'll make your good videos even better. Color grading can be one of the most important things in any sort of video shoot, whether it be YouTube or anything else. It's partly what decides your theming, in addition to whatever else you're doing in the movie. It will also affect how it looks to your audience. I'm going to give you an example here though. Say you're shooting a fight scene, and you want it to look its best. See this natural light? This isn't even that bad. It would probably look good like this. Now I'm going to show you an example with this clip I have created myself. If this were a fight scene, this look might not cut it. This is how it looks by default, with any sort of camera really. I am using my phone, a Pixel 6. This is it color graded. This is vibrant. It puts emphasis on the color, and you notice it's not as white in terms of the color. There's still light, but there's not blinding light emanating from everywhere. Now, angle can be very important for what kinds of color grades you could use to enhance a scene. This is facing towards the light, so naturally everything is a bit brighter than it looked before, limiting the types of color grades that could be effective here. Remember, color grading is a filter. If your footage is bad or there's some blinding light in the middle of it, there's only so much you can really do. Sometimes you might just need to reshoot a scene. However, in a very green environment like this, a warmer color grade can sometimes help soften the white, foggy nature of the brightness. When I was in high school, I had a great productions teacher, Mr. Michael McKernan. Now, I won't claim that everything that I am saying here and everything I have done has come from that, but oftentimes we need some important and knowing figure from which to base our information from. A real good stepping stone for any learning experience is, in fact, a teacher. Now I'm going to show you my recent favorite color grade, which I call Vibrant Epic. The left is ungraded, and the right is my grade. It makes everything a little bit more colorful and less white ghosting from light, with a side effect of dark undertones. These are the settings I used to achieve that effect. If you want to try it out, feel free to try it out. Now, in your own videos, or whatever, ideally you would want to change the color grade for each individual video to whatever suits your environment and what you're talking about best. Say, in this video, you were a down-on-your-luck cop. You don't want it looking like this. You want it to match the dreary tones of maybe depression, loneliness, and homelessness. You might go for more blue of a temperature, the opposite of what you might use in a greener environment, and maybe lower the saturation and increase the blacks and stuff like that. Because if you were going to sell a story to an audience, you need the story to look like what's going on. You want your videos to be as dressed up as you are. Hopefully, anyway. You wouldn't go to a job interview nude, so don't let your videos go out to your audience nude and uncolor graded. Because going from this to this will have a greater effect on your audience, especially if it's something dark. Now, if you just want to make your video look better than it actually is, bluer tones are better for industrial type environments like modern housing. And remember, warm colors are a lot better for the outdoors and a lively environment with flora and fauna even. Just don't go too far and make it look volcanic, unless that's what you're going for. In terms of blue and orange color grading, really, it's more of a spectrum. The bluer it is, maybe the colder and darker your film would be. And the warmer, the more lively and livable and maybe even intense your environment will be. So, depending on the intensity or the emotional status of whatever it is that you're making, you might choose a different, realm or the other, in a sense. Now, That has just been us talking about the cooler and warmer options, but let me tell you, there are more. If the orange and blue are the main options, these ones are the modifiers. They're like the sprinkles on your cupcake. You know, the cupcake is good, but a little bit extra on top makes it a little bit better sometimes. So we've talked about temperature. Tint is kind of like temperature, except it uses different colors in that. However, green and, well, purple aren't really going to be things you're going to need unless it's really a sci-fi or something that's an extreme color. You might not need to really use tint for the most part. Now, saturation is more well known. Saturation is like, so say we want our previous down on our luck cop to be in a noir. Well, we would decrease the saturation. Now, there are definitely limits you would want to do that to. Maybe you want an ever so slight amount of color. However, if you put saturation in the opposite direction and you give it more saturation, it enhances the colors. These down here target specific things, but these up here, temperature, tint, and saturation, are more affecting of all of what you're doing. Whereas these affect specific things like light or, shadow, of course. So we have exposure, which affects basically the overall brightness. We have contrast, which basically affects the amount of dark and light to a certain extent. We have highlights, which kind of affect the brightest colors, it seems. Shadows, which, well, makes shadows more expansive and dark. We have whites, which does the opposite of shadows. It's basically the same thing as shadows, but on the lightest parts of it. And then we have blacks, which is, it affects basically the whole thing. See how it turns it gray or, more intense, that kind of a thing. Anyway, I don't really know the exact textbook definitions. It's better to just feel around with it yourself until whatever you're doing looks good. So that's pretty much color grading. That's about all I can teach you about this one specific thing. But it's a very, very important thing, for footage. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and maybe eventually I'll make another one about some other topic in relation to film.